So, I was told I should do a live painting, but seeing as I don't have Facebook installed in my phone, I figured I would, make a mess over here. I'm spilling water, don't mind me. Try to just do a quick recording of however much I can do in an hour. I've never really recorded myself painting before, so this will be interesting. Okay, I guess that's a lie. Like, I did one painting where I recorded myself, and then I never uploaded it, so that was cool. Cool story, bro. But, yeah, I basically, if you look at my little setup, this is my little travel kit that I made. My little notebook. And, yeah, I am currently traveling through Washington, so I only have part of my setup, which is probably better because this is, as messy as this table is right now, it's still significantly less disgusting than my apartment is, because I'm a slob and I can never keep my spaces clean. So yeah, basically I did this tester sheet yesterday. Right here, you can kind of see part of it. And this is the color scheme I think I ended up liking the most out of all the ones that I had set up. And so I'm going to go with a bluish undertone and then do some pink for the face. If you've seen any of my other pictures, you would know that I really don't like doing normal skin colors ever, and that I prefer to make all of my subjects look like they have some sort of alien skin condition. So this is part of my series I'm doing called head covers, and this week I am doing the Dhuku, which should not be mistaken with the what was it called? It's not the same as the Gele, because the Gele kind of fans out in the back from everything that I've seen, whereas this one kind of gets tied in these really elaborate knots on the top of the head. Yeah, so that's that. It's really weird being able to actually like paint without any of my cats jumping on me constantly, because I'm used to my life just kind of being dictated by my cat's needs and wants, and I don't really mind because I'm a crazy cat lady. But my only companion here right now is Gizmo, and he's just slightly needy. He doesn't bother me too much. Bother. Isn't that right, Gizmo? I just gave him treats, so he's probably not going to come over here. So the other thing I need to figure out is this whole entire music thing. I don't always listen to music when I'm like painting, but I like listening to music. But then I found out that apparently you can't upload videos to Facebook if you have music playing in the background, which is weird. This was Serena's idea, by the way, so thank you, Serena, for telling me to do a video of my process. It's kind of nerve-wracking because I tend to ramble a lot. But I figured it was a good chance to do this while Zach is at work, because he has an important meeting today, and because of that, he will not be back for the next hour. Can you see the color? It looks really shiny. Oh well, whatever. And so I like kind of going in and doing a really quick soft wash of all the main colors that I'm going to want, and then I kind of just layer over that. Basically what I'm saying is I have no idea what I'm doing most of the time when I'm painting. I end up disliking like half the things that I do, and then just layering stuff over the top, and I use paper towels liberally to remove paint over and over again, because I really hate how things turn out most of the time. Like, the fact that I have any followers on my Instagram is insanely thrilling, because I don't understand what I'm doing most of the time. Like, you know when you watch those videos where it's like little tutorials of how people do artwork, and they're like, yeah, this is how I do my watercolor, or this is how I do my pictures. And they're just like perfect on the first try. Like they draw and it just turns out perfect. And then they paint and it just turns out perfect. And you're like, what are you doing though? Because that's not realistic. Like, it's like, see right here, do you see how like the pink is bleeding into the blue? Like, what is this nonsense? Like, why am I even doing anything right now? My problem is that I'm impatient. I hate waiting for things to dry, and I also really like how paint kind of blends together when I don't let it dry. So I don't know, too all over the place for my own good, you know? I swear I thought I saved a photo in here that I wanted to use in the background. That's unfortunate if I lost it. Don't mind the crunching noise, that's Gizmo. He's pretty cute. Check this out. Hi, Gizmo. Hi, buddy. It's like, Mom, stop. It's always good to go in with a really light layer first, because that way it's easier to fix it when you fuck up. Sorry for the cursing, kids. Sorry. Totally forgot what I was doing for a moment. Alright, so basically here's what we look like right now. Slightly scary. That's the thing. Paintings always tend to look really scary at the beginning. People are like, oh my gosh, your paintings are so beautiful. And I'm like, thanks. Did you know that it looked like, I don't know, some sort of diseased creature for most of my painting? Looks like a clown or something. Seriously, my dog is so hungry right now. What on earth? Maybe I should just do like a time-lapse video so that you don't have to hear me talking this entire time. I have no idea what I'm doing. Dear fellow artists, How do you come up with what you put into your art videos? Between music copyrights and derpa, I have no idea how any of you do this all the time. It's a shame too, we brought our GoPro camera, but then my fiance's like, oh, I brought the GoPro camera, but I didn't bring the tripod that you needed to do videos like that. So I was like, oh, well, that's useful. So I'm using my phone. It's probably going to die partway through this, which is fine, but not super useful. So you see, you put a little bit of darker color in the corners. I'll go back in and do more there later. But you start building out the shadows like this. I'm also really weird, and I hate wasting paint. So if you look at my paints, I'm kind of just, this was from my testers yesterday, and this is basically what I used to paint most of the time. And then I'll go into here. This is really cool. There's a store in California. It's from Japan called Muji, wait, what? Mujinishidyohi or something. It basically means random products that don't have logos on them. It's my favorite. In America we call it Muji. It's great. And so anyways, these are little medicine capsules that you can pop together or pop apart if you want to. And then this is a giant pencil case, and this is where erasers go, but that's where I put my water. So I'm super stoked about this. And yeah, there's one within walking distance from my apartment, so I'm pretty thrilled by that. I lost a paintbrush. This is why I can't have nice things. Aha. I did not lose it. It was hiding from me underneath my laptop, obviously. Gosh, guys, pay attention. I'm on top of this. I love painting lips because they're so difficult for me. I have no idea how to paint them, but I don't know. It's just so cool how they sort of come together. I love faces, obviously. I really need to start working on painting bodies more because I am not the best at making portions work well. Body proportions. Okay. So now for the nose, there's always whew, that is really dark. A little, wow, that is way too watery. You see, guys, I have no idea what I'm doing. But there's always more of a shadow right on the bottom side right here. So I kind of like to paint out the shape and I'll go through and fix some of the details afterwards, so it's okay if it's not all on the lines because this is gonna get changed with time. Ramble, ramble, rabble, rabble. Maybe I'll put Facebook back on my phone so I can actually do this live next time. Apparently people ask questions and stuff. Man, I suck at social media sometimes. I just post lots of things about cats and slightly political things. Slightly, I know. Estimated, I don't know what the word is right now. Understatement of the year. There we go. I mean, but then again, I don't think anybody watching this would be surprised when I say that, considering the fact that this entire series is kind of a political statement. I am liking how this is looking though. Which I don't say very often while I'm painting. I'm usually sitting here going, oh my god, what am I doing? Why did it turn out this way? And then at the end I kind of sort of salvage it. Now we paint in some of the shadow. Then I like to come through and I like to get in the crease of the eye first. I'm not saying always, because I like never follow the same steps more than a few times, because I forget how I did it last time, and then just kind of end up putzing through it the next time. And so then I just kind of like to shade up to the eyebrow line. Oh, I definitely did too much pink over here. What are you doing, Ariel? And then I kind of like to spread the color down into the cheeks a little too. I don't know. Maybe I saw other people doing it, but I kind of just like how that looks. I'm gonna bring in some blue again. Get some of her fierce cheekbones in. So if any of you have ever done contouring, which I suck at by the way, because I am weirdly inept at makeup, but you do this thing called contouring, right? That kind of makes your cheekbones stand out. And watercolor, it's basically the same thing, where you kind of get a dark line in there and then you just sort of blend it out a little, so you can be like, yeah, this girl's cheekbones are so sharp. The thing about how I paint, you'll notice I kind of give people whiplash with how often I change directions. I know you're supposed to use different brushes for different colors, or at least rinse off properly, but I kind of like that weirdly muddy look I get when my colors all just sort of blend together, you know? Because I clearly don't know what I'm doing. have these pens that you can get from like Target. They have these little Staedtler pens, not pencils. And they've got like this really thin felt tip to them. And I usually use them for my bullet journal, but lately I've been kind of using them to slightly mock up the colors I'm going to use in my paintings. But it's really funny because the last time I used it was on the test drawing for what I'm doing today, and it started off kind of cool, and then I just kind of kept adding layers, and now she looks like a disaster. Check this out. You can tell I decided to deviate from my original color scheme. What is this? What happened? Oh my gosh. But still hoping this turns out well. Obviously, this video is only going to cover the part where I do her face. You'll have to wait until my actual final post to see what it looks like at the end. The scene's how the color's looking so far. Sorry, I just realized I haven't talked in a while. I have this weird thing where I kind of have like this running dialogue in my head when I paint, where I like hear music playing even if it's not there. Maybe that's technically like a sign of psychosis, who knows? But like, I don't even notice the music isn't playing sometimes because I have so much random thought going through my head. Alright, so clearly my current subject of my art piece is made out of cotton candy, because those are the colors that I decided to paint her in. Cotton candy colors. You're a unicorn painting. By the way, if you guys have any suggestions in the future of like types of paintings you want me to do, or like other head covers that you can think of, I have like an entire list that I came up with, and I think you guys are really gonna like next week's because it totally speaks to the cat lady in all of us. But yeah, let me know, and I will try to make it happen. Now I see why Serena told me to do a live painting, because I'm just talking to myself with no input, and it's really, really weird. Do. So now I'm getting the eyebrows, and you see that? Painting on my brows. Alright, I mean, like, the model that I used, she had luscious eyebrows, and I don't even think that they were drawn in. But it is such a struggle because people are like, oh man, I have real eyebrows. I don't have to draw them in. Well, you know what? I don't have eyebrows. Mine are basically just little wisps that pretend that they're doing something. So I had to learn to draw them in, which works out because, you know, painting and drawing is kind of what I do. Alright, now we're going to start adding in some purples, and by purples I mean I literally just mixed the two colors that you've seen me using over and over again, and I am going to be taking those colors, mixing them together, and making a nice little purple color. Oh, check out that purple. It's funny, purple used to be my least favorite color. It was like, man, I hate that color. That color is just the worst. And then one day I like dyed my hair and decided to go with purple. Actually, that's a lie. Like, there was a friend of mine who had purple hair. She was so gorgeous. Like, just, you know, the kind of person that you almost want to hate because she's so pretty. And she had purple hair, and I was like, you know what? Purple. That's the color I'm going to go with when I dye my hair finally. So it was definitely not for the noblest of reasons that I learned to like purple, but that was the first hair color I ever added to my hair that wasn't normal human colors. If you can, you know, really count the auburn that I used to be in high school a normal human color. Although I really don't think that natural humans have cherry red hair in the sunlight, so whatever. But now purple's like one of my favorite colors. Basically everything I'm wearing today is purple. It's kind of weird. Let's get some color in your ear. These really cool gel pens that my future father-in-law sent to me. Super thrilled about them. You've probably seen them in almost every single painting I've done recently, because that's what I've been using for the white highlights. I used to use a gouache. How do you pronounce that? I have no idea. Gouache? Gouache? Anyways, it's kind of like a watercolor, but it's like more thick, and so I've been using that, or sometimes I'd even use acrylic to try to get that bright white color. But it was really just not the easiest thing to control. And then one day, John was like, "Hey, Ariel, I use this really cool pen." And I was like, "Oh," and then he was like, "Here, let me send you one." And he sent it to me, and it's been basically the best thing ever. It's this pen right here called the Uniball pen. No, Signo pen. Apparently, my last video hit its maximum 4 gig size. Whoops. So, anyways, making another video. And then I'm going to upload these, and then I'm going to delete them off my phone so that my phone doesn't keep yelling at me for using up too much space. So, gonna kind of get some of her eyeliner up in here. A little bit of shadow under the eyes just to get a little bit of that shape in. Okay, and now I go through and I like to pull this color down into the side. Not entirely sure why I do this, I just like how it looks. By the way, the view out my window is pretty incredible. Or maybe not necessarily this window, but the upstairs window. Because all you see is just pine trees and this beautiful volcano in the distance. I haven't actually taken the time to determine which one it is. And it makes me remember all those Bob Ross paintings that he used to do where he's like, happy trees, happy trees. And I'm like, yeah, I am surrounded by so many happy trees right now. You don't even know. And I should do a painting full of happy trees at some point, probably. Maybe I secretly like doing my makeup like this. Not makeup, but my paintings of my girls. I possibly like doing these colors because it makes me think of a red panda, and they're the cutest. They're basically like a cross between a cat and a raccoon and everything nice in the world. Second cutest animal in the world, possibly to the elephant, because elephants are superior. But look at this little red panda face. Makes you look mysterious. Oh yeah. Purple contour. This is why I could never be a cosmetologist. People would be like, I would like to have a simple wedding makeup look, please. And I'd be like, alright, got it. And I'd start face painting them and making them cry. It would just be awful. Kudos to people who are in cosmetology. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of digging how this is turning out, guys. Digging it. Sorry, did that thing again where I go quiet. And I lost my paper towel. Guys, like, I can't even do life right now. Oh, so I just grabbed a paper towel, or not paper towel, a napkin that was sitting here, and I'm like, yay, there just so happens to be a napkin here. Apparently it was covered in crumbs from a quiche I had for dinner last night. Like, this is why I can't have roommates other than Zach, because I'm such a slob. Oh my gosh, so there's like quiche crumbs all over the table now. The poor woman whose Airbnb I'm in is gonna have like little crumbs everywhere. I mean, obviously I'm gonna try to clean up as much as I can, but dear Airbnb lady, I am sorry for all the crumbs. Have you guys ever traveled with Airbnb? Because it is awesome. Basically like living in a house. Because I am. It was really funny because the last place we went to, the guy had all new appliances and everything that had clearly never been used. So we had to pull the plastic off of it. And I tried to bake something in the oven, and it got all smoky, and there was no ventilation, and I had a panic attack, and it was not fun. But then after that, it was fun, because I had an oven to cook in while I was on vacation. Does it count as vacation if I'm doing work? I think it does, because it's Seattle. Technically, that was Bellevue, and it's awesome. I love the Pacific Northwest, so I guess it still counts as vacation, because I'm not where I'm supposed to be. But you know what sucks about traveling? It's probably the only thing that I think really sucks about traveling, because I love traveling, is the fact that I can't bring my cats with me. I miss them so much. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, I'm not going to see them for at least another week, and I'm not even sure what to do with myself right now, because it's that awful to think about. Luckily, my lovely neighbor, Amy, is taking care of my pets, and she sends me little Valentine's pictures of them. Archer won't come out of hiding, so she mostly just sends me pictures of 2 of my cats and our Roomba, because our Roomba's name is Toto, and he likes to eat my boots and Luckily, Gizmo's not there, so he's no longer spreading the love of Gizmo's dog poop everywhere. Alright, so you see, this is roughly what she's looking like right now. But then I go through and I add eyelashes and do outlines and I do more details in her eyebrows and I give little sparkles to everything. Wow, that is very freaking blue. That was a horrible plan. Man, that is like way more blue than I wanted. Do you see what I mean? Like, artists who just sit there and get everything beautiful on their first video try, just like, you're liars. There's just no way that you can do that. I mean, clearly you can. You have video proof of it, which is probably the most tangible point of, or form of proof that exists in this day and age. But, like, I don't get it, because everything I do is like a process, and if things turn out alright and don't blur together, I feel like everything in the universe had to line up to make that happen for me. Now her right eyebrow is so much darker than her left one, and now it's much lighter. I am loving how these lips turned out, though. Look at that. Check them out. That shit is magnificent. I know. It's probably like one of those things that I only get excited about because I've painted so many lips and so much of the time they don't turn out well. But I'm like really digging how these ones turned out. But I'm worried that if I keep messing with them, it'll ruin them. Have you ever... So there's this story my mom told me about. I think it's a Japanese story. Maybe it's Chinese. I don't know. But the idea was that, you know, there was this artist who created this beautiful painting of this snake. And it was so beautiful, and everyone praised him so much for it. And so he would add more detail, and every time he'd add more detail, more people would praise it and say, it's so beautiful and so perfect, and so he kept adding more and more until finally he had nothing else to add, so he added legs to it. And it looked so weird that it ruined the painting. And so I am worried that if I keep messing with these, it will be the serpent's legs. Which I think it's starting to do that, but oh well. I'm just gonna do a tiny bit more purple, and then I'll call it good. Purple, purple, purple. Right there. And right there. Yes, son. There we go. Poppin' lips. What? Blurry. There we go. In focus. So, I mean, I still have to do her headscarf and her background and everything else, and probably change her skin tone a little bit so she's not quite so blue. Maybe do some more purples in there too. But yeah, that's basically it. That's what I've been doing. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!